Hey there, folks. Today we are taking bacon to a completely different dimension as we make our double smoked, sweet and spicy bacon jerky. Welcome everyone to the Two Guys at a Cooler channel, and welcome to our series on smoking meats, a series sponsored by Smokin' It Smokers. Be sure to check the description box below for a link to their website. Today I'm going to take you through the entire process of turning regular bacon into amazing bacon jerky, and the recipe link will be in the description box below as well. Let's do it.
Let's take a look at our bacon. We're going to be using thick sliced bacon for this recipe. This is 1/8 of an inch, so that's double the size of normal bacon. And you could either make the bacon yourself or you could go buy it from the store. Either way works. And what we're going to do is we're going to put a beautiful glaze on each one of those pieces. We're going to pop it into our smoker, give it a smoke, and then begin the process of dehydrating it. So let's take a look at our glaze. We're going to start with a little brown sugar. This is dark brown sugar. We've got low sodium soy sauce. We're also going to be adding just a touch of cayenne pepper and then a touch of hot chili sauce. This is sriracha, and this is such a customizable recipe. I mean, you can just about add whatever you want. This glaze is just going to flavor our bacon jerky, so it just depends on what you want your bacon jerky to taste like. And you know, you can customize the ingredients to your own taste. Let's go ahead and take this and pop it onto the stove, because what I want to do is I want to slightly reduce it and thicken that sauce up just a little bit. So on a medium heat, we're going to bring this to a simmer, and we're going to let that do its thing for a few minutes. I'm thinking maybe 5 or 6 minutes, stirring occasionally, and that should help thicken up this sauce, and that looks absolutely brilliant. So let's go ahead and pour that into a bowl, let it cool. And this sauce is actually going to add a lot of dark, rich, earthy tones to our bacon, so it should look pretty interesting. I'm not going to be using the standard racks that come with our smoker. This is actually the seafood rack from Smokin' It Smokers, and this is going to hold our bacon up a little bit better, but truth is you could use whatever racks you have. We're just going to line it up. We're going to make sure we put a little bit of space in between each one of those pieces of bacon, and now it's time for our sweet and spicy glaze. Nice thin coating on the top and bottom of each piece of bacon, and once you're finished, into the smoker it goes. Both racks of bacon are coated. This is roughly about 3 pounds, and we're going to stick that into our Smokin' It Smoker. This is a model 4D digital Wi-Fi, in case you were wondering. I'll put a link in the description box below if you want information on that. And our bacon was already smoked once during processing, but we're going to smoke it again with some hickory wood chips. That's going to give us our double smoked bacon jerky. And we're using here roughly about 2 ounces of wood chips, 56 grams. And that's going to give us a nice heavy smoke flavor. And that's it. We're going to go ahead and close this thing down and get it turned on. And this is one of the reasons why I like using a smoker, because we can get that temperature a little hotter than a dehydrator, and it can hold a lower temperature a lot more consistently than an oven. So 200 degrees Fahrenheit, we're going to let this smoke for about an hour, and then we're going to begin the stage 2 of making our bacon jerky. It's been an hour and no more smoke is coming out of our smoker, and it's time for stage 2, which is the dehydration stage. I'm going to be putting a jerky dryer on our Smokin' It Smoker, and this in essence turns our smoker into a dehydrator. Now we're going to keep the temperature at 200 degrees Fahrenheit, and we're going to cook this for 1 more hour. Because we're slow cooking bacon, and because there's a lot of fat on it, we're going to want to remove some of that rendered bacon fat. So clean paper towel, give it a blot, go ahead and flip it over, do the same thing for the other side. And at this point, now this is totally optional, you can brush your bacon with a little extra glaze if you want to do a double coating, and that is totally up to you. So let's finish blotting these, and then we're going to close it back off. Removing some of this rendered fat is going to help the dehydration process happen a little more efficiently. So let's close it down, and we're going to let this continue drying for 1 more hour. Now, at this point, you're going to check for doneness. If you want your jerky to be a little more tender, you're going to pull it sooner. If you want it to be a little chewier, you're going to let it cook a little bit longer. For me, this looks perfect. The color looks right. So let's go ahead and get this into the final stage of preparation. We're going to give it 1 more blot. As you can see right here, we've got a little bit of rendered fat, and you got this glistening fat on each one of those pieces. So we're just going to go ahead and blot that dry, and then we're going to place these on a drying rack to let them cool, which is also going to let them firm up a bit. And after about 30 or 45 minutes of cooling, if you've managed to restrain yourself enough and you still have bacon jerky left, this is what it's going to look like.
Our bacon jerky is done. Check this out. Look at that. Look at that color. Absolutely beautiful. Incredible. At this point, this is not crispy. This should be chewy. We're looking for that classic jerky chew, and that's why we're using that thick cut slice. If you use a thinner sliced bacon, then your end result is going to be a little bit crispier, and so depending on what you're looking for. But I personally like that chew that you get from traditional beef jerky, and that's what this is going to deliver. Now, how do you know when it's done? Well, it's a matter of personal preference, how long you leave it in your smoker, because you may like it a little bit drier than I do. But one particular way I like to gauge my bacon jerky is that when I hold it upright, okay, it doesn't slump over too much. So for me, that's about the perfect doneness. I also don't want it to snap when I bend it in half, right? I want it to tear. And so you should be able to get a clean tear from your jerky when it's finished. And for me, that's about perfect. So let's go ahead and give this a taste, see what it's all about. Wow, that smells incredible. Let's get it on the fattier side first. That's spectacular. The fat is so incredibly flavorful. And the first thing that really hits you is that extra smoke that we added. This is ridiculous. I mean, you've got the smoky, salty, sweet, spicy. They're all working together. Truth is, I could probably use this a little bit spicier, but the way it is now will probably, satisfy a larger audience. But that's the great thing about this recipe because, you can switch it up. You could do sesame oil, ginger, soy sauce. You could do maple syrup, honey, teriyaki, onion, garlic. It's really up to you. And then there's the texture. Oh, perfect texture. Absolutely incredible. Now, this is great by itself, don't get me wrong, but this would be great on a charcuterie platter with different salami and cheeses and different fruits at a party. Talk about blow your friend's mind with bacon jerky. I can tell you right now, I didn't even make close to enough. And that's one of the reasons why I like using my smoker, because this could clearly be made in an oven. You can make it in a dehydrator, although the results aren't exactly the same. But in a smoker, you can not only add additional smoke, you can control the temperature a lot better, and you can make a whole bunch of it, which I know you're going to want to do after you taste this bacon jerky. One more thing before we go, how do you store bacon jerky? I know you're going to ask. Well, bacon jerky is a little more perishable than regular jerky, primarily because of the amount of fat that each piece has. So it's going to go bad faster. So place it in a Ziploc bag or a vacuum seal bag in your refrigerator and be sure to eat it in less than 10 days, which, trust me, is not going to be a problem. If you need it to last longer, place it in a vacuum seal bag and freeze it, and it'll just about last indefinitely in your freezer. I hope you get a chance to make this absolutely amazing double smoked, sweet and spicy bacon jerky. And I'd love to hear any ideas that you guys might have for other flavor profiles that you would use. If you have any questions, drop them in the comment section below. And if you're new to this channel and you like smoking meats, making sausages, meat preservation, don't forget to take a moment and click that subscribe button and that notification bell, because I don't want you to miss a single one of our delicious episodes. Don't forget to check out the smokers and accessories available at smokinit.com. I'll put a link in the description box below. Thanks a lot for being here. We'll see you in the next one.